I know you've earned the right to do whatever you want in terms of fielding a side tomorrow. You may rotate, leave players out. I think you've earned that right with 5 wins from 5. So what is your feeling around rotating a side ahead of another big Premier League game at the weekend against Villa?
Yeah, we have to rotate. We will rotate. That's clear. We have to. It's the headline actually. Medical department would smash me if I would play the same side again, and so we will make changes. But it's always like this: if you make changes, you get in fresh legs. If you get in fresh legs, you can have a higher energy level in the game. If you have a higher energy level, you have a chance to play a good game, and that's exactly what the idea behind it. Yeah, that's it pretty much.
How does that go down with the likes of Mo Salah? Obviously, I'm not sure whether he's going to play tomorrow, but he'll be itching to play. He scored in each of Liverpool's last 6 away games in Europe. He breaks records galore. He's heading towards Steven Gerrard's European target. So I'm assuming he's desperate to give you a nudge and play, isn't he?
So I will not give you now the lineup, but I cannot change all. So that's not true. So we need to have players on the pitch. So I cannot start with rotate and then start with 9 or whatever. That's not possible. So yeah, we will see if Mo plays or not, and if he can score or not, or whatever. But the players are very understanding about the situation. Not only the players who don't play, the players who have to play as well. So that's how it is. We want to field the best possible side for the situation we are in. And we played 55 games in the last 15 days, which is a lot. And now we have to play after the Milan game again, pretty much the same number of games in a similar amount of time. So we have to make the right decisions, and we will.
Just on his contract, I know there's quotes out today saying that it's in the hands of the management. He wants to stay. He says there's no problem, but we have to reach an agreement for the contract, and it's up to them. So who's them? You and everyone else who negotiates with him?
Oh, you know exactly what it's about, and we are talking, and whatever. Extending a contract with a player of like Mo is not a thing you do. You meet for a cup of tea in the afternoon and find agreement. That's completely normal. There's already nothing else to say about. Mo speaks about it when he gets asked about it. I can only say a few things because all the rest is not for the public, obviously. But I'm not sure if he gave the interview in English or if it got translated from English from Arabic into English, and that is a massive issue how we saw in the last few days again. So that's really a lot of things can happen when somebody tries to do that, and that's Mo is fine. I'm fine. I think what we all want is clear, and things like this need time. That's it.
Thank you. We'll go to Juliet in the room for the BBC, and then we'll go to you.
Yeah, can I talk about Divock Origi? Will he get his chance against?
It's pretty likely. Yeah.
I was just wondering. Everyone calls him. Everyone can see what he does when he comes onto the pitch and the impact that he has, and we saw that against Wolves. In your time here, has he ever moaned at not getting more chances?
Moan is not the right word, but of course he knocked on my door and we were talking about things. We work together as long as I'm here, pretty much. So that happened from time to time, but it's not about talking about things. It's about letting things happen, and that for the players always the same. And it's not that Div was not always in all situations in the best possible, in a world-class shape, and I just didn't bring him. So he got injuries in wrong moments. I still remember it, and that's one of the it was a really, really decisive moment in the Everton game when Div was flying that time. He played an away game at Dortmund. Dortmund was asking, what's that? What kind of strike is that? They lost only Lewandowski a few months before, I think, or a year before. And they were like, oh my God, that's pretty much the same level and these kind of things. And then and they've got really badly injured. We have had to rush him back for the European League final. These kind of things are influential for careers. And then step by step we improved, and with a specific lineup, and it was very often with more Bobby and Sadio, and Div was in behind that and played the role there, played more, played less, all these kind of things. That's how life is. But that says not, how I said after the game, if you are not a starter for Liverpool, you can still be a world-class player. It's really possible. I know people see that from time to time slightly different, but it's possible. And in specific moments, Div is absolutely outstanding, and everybody was overly happy when he scored the goal, not only because he scored the goal, but because he scored the goal. And it's a nice story, you know. Let's carry on from here.
I just have one more. In terms of team news, without giving too much away, are there players that we could see making a return from injury, perhaps, that have been out rejoining the first team squad training?
We have to see. Again, I'm in the hands of the medical department pretty much, because we cannot. I have really to accept all the decisions. That's what we always do, but I have to as well in this situation as well. So we have players who are obviously played a lot of games, and can I play? Can we take them or whatever? Can we bring them on? All this kind of people. The good thing about the Champions League is we have at least they have the chance to change 5 times, and that's something really helpful, and that's what we will use. But probably it's possible that players from injury have a few minutes, but few minutes it's difficult to start if it's not you're not able to play 45. So changing in the first half is not one thing I like to do too much. So yeah, hopefully.
Hi Jürgen, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. Just another one really on Divock Origi. I mean, did he prove at the weekend that you don't only have great individuals at Liverpool, but you have a great team and a great squad? And is it great squads that actually go on and win things?
Yeah, the last thing's definitely true. You can only win things with a fantastic squad. Did you ask if he proved it at the weekend?
No, I said he proved at the weekend that you have not only a great starting 11, but yeah.
But hopefully for you, not the first time. So yeah. So we are happy with the squad. We're happy. We know each other for a long time. Most of us, we love to work together. We know our roles, all these kind of things. We can with some. I think our football looks much more mature than in the past. So because we just play longer together, and yes, the boys have a very good relationship between each other. So yeah, we have a good squad, and I'm not sure if we proved that at the weekend, but I think rather we proved that really a lot of times, and the weekend was just one more time maybe.
And is it the hardest part of your job to keep people like Divock Origi happy, who aren't playing every week, and maybe you do come and knock on the door? Is that almost one of the most difficult things to be able to keep players who you know you are going to need at some point happy?
I'm not sure if it's the most difficult thing in the job, but it's one thing to do in the job. It's like that. Players have to feel needed. Players have to feel that we value their quality, that we need them, all these kind of things, and that's yeah, it's part of the job. And but first and foremost, the job of the player is, that's in all teams the same. They have to train. That I have to make really difficult decisions. That's how it is. And then we all have to accept that I only can start 11 and 3 can come on. So in the long term, everybody can be happy. In the short term, sometimes not. But in the long term, I think really our players are all fine. But that doesn't help in the moment sometimes.
Not wanting to make it all about Divock, but he scored some, as we all know, he scored some important goals in some important games, and he hasn't played a lot. So what does that say about him, you know, from a mentality point of view, that he can come on and have that effect, having not had the rhythm and had the advantage that the players have had to play?
It's one special thing in his skill set. It's not the only thing. It's not that he can only come on and play well. So how is that? And he had brilliant games for us from the start, and one of the biggest games in our history against Barcelona, he started, for example, and played an incredible game and scored the goals in the right moments and stuff like this. So yeah, it's just part of his skill set. That's it. But he's a very positive person, that's for sure, and he is yeah, incredibly talented. That's just how it is. He can shoot with right and left. His technical level is incredible. He's really, really, really quick. He's in the air, how we all know, a monster as well. So it's really interesting, really interesting package. But that doesn't mean that you are a constant starter for Liverpool FC, because the quality we have, that's how it is. But that's how life is. There are worse things than being not a constant starter for Liverpool FC, I tell you. So it's really nice to be part of this squad. It's unbelievably nice to be part of this team and all these kind of things. So it's all good, but it's nice that he has that skill and that he used it at the weekend.
Is it going to be important for him to get minutes looking ahead to January, when you're going to be without Mo and Sadio? He's going to have to play more of a regular role, so he needs to get the minutes in the back.
Obviously, he showed he doesn't need a long warm up, so we will see what happens until then.
Yeah, but the way in which someone like Tyler Morton has burst onto the scene this season, and other young players as well, does that give you kind of more kind of faith and trust you can make changes, yet you know that the standards will remain high? And what enables players here to be able to step in when they haven't played much football and deliver at that kind of level? Is it the training environment in terms of the intensity they're used to?
Yeah, that's all it is. We play or we train. And we all know, we've said it plenty of times, I would love we could train more often, because then we could play much more intense. That's how it is. But just in the specific things, the exercises we do, it's all about doing the things what we need to do in a football game with the right intensity and as often as somehow possible. And yeah, there are a lot of really good young players in this club at the moment. Really big prospects, and I'm really happy about that. And Tal is one of them, so the only one, I think. Yeah, we will have more young boys tomorrow traveling with us and in the squad, so that's important. And let's see if they will play or not, but they are only with us because they have the quality to play the football we want to play.
Apologies, it's problems our end if we can't get a translation through on there.
No, dicevo, se posso ripetere, la passione per lei, mister, è una cosa importante.
Passion is fundamental to you. And the passion of a player like Ibrahimovic and of such a great stadium as San Siro, you think it can change Milan in his game?
Passione could be passion.
So, apologies,
Mohamed Salah, Ibrahimovic, San Siro. I'm looking forward to play in San Siro, I can tell you. First time for me. It's not the first time that we play Zlatan Ibrahimovic, but it's great to have players involved like Mo and him. But thank God they're not the only two who are on the pitch. Otherwise, San Siro would be too big. So, hope to see you tomorrow and could answer your question then. Sorry.